homie. This that drill 'em hard, make 'em history, homie. Ain't no loving, that's the history, homie. This that Brian Urlacher ministry, homie. This that Walter Payton 85 energy, homie. This that Mike Ditka, it's the history, homie.
And welcome to Combs and Fitz Windy City Sports Talk. It's your boy Brandon Combs. Oh, my guy Ryan Fitzgibbons coming live from the better-looking Fitzgibbons compound.
What? Are you serious?
He gave me $100. Hey, I want my money after the show.
There's football, baby. We're here.
Again, I don't know why.
Come on, man,
Catching
get it
up to
together.
Rookie. Anyway,
Chicago Bears football, our first football playoff game of the show. What are we gonna do? I'm so excited.
calm down because in a couple hours we may not be so happy.
Stop it. I don't want any of those thoughts. I was going through my stuff, my checklist of getting stuff together for the show, for the game, and I almost forgot my hat and sunglasses, my winning hat and sunglasses. And I was like, where are the hat and sunglasses? Where is everything? And I finally found them. So
you finally
that's
found them?
probably
Where were
going.
they?
Yeah, I put them underneath my table after the Bears' last one, where the Bears, the last team the Bears beat were
The Green Bay Packers.
the Green Bay Packers. The last team the Green Bay Packers beat were the Bears.
Jules, would you? No, you still don't want to wear it. All right. Worth a
Good
shot.
show.
Worth a shot. Look, Packers fans. I don't know why. Look, I
For the
got this
crowd.
nice necklace. It's got a cheese grater with a Bears head on it. Jules won't wear it.
But I'm excited. I'm excited.
Dude, I'm super excited. Look, I'm confident. I was talking. So all week long we've been breaking down all of the playoff games, and we were talking last night. And I was talking with Mark Carmen, and he asked me how I was feeling. I said, I'm confident, and it's not confident like you know the Bears are going to go out there and win by 4 touchdowns, whatever the case is. I'm confident in the fact that it's already been a successful season, and I'm just going to enjoy the ride. Next year, we have the expectations. This year, this is like,
So
for me, it's like 2015, right? We talked about it
Should I
before,
repeat
right?
your little speech you just said to you when you're pacing in 3 hours and you're yelling at me
Well, I
because I'm
still wanna
talking too
win.
much? And
I still want to win. I still want the Bears to win. I don't want to have one of those games where I'm sitting there at the end of the night throwing stuff at Packers fans. Watch out, Jules. I don't want anybody to have to duck. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, even though I still want to win, like, if they don't, okay. Because now I'm excited for next year, and I want to see what the offseason is. In 2015, when the Cubs beat the Cardinals to go to the NLCS and then got swept, I was upset they got swept in the NLCS, but I was excited for the future of the team because I knew that team was going to be good for a long time. And I was right. They win the World Series the next year. They go to the NLCS in 17. Like, they were good and they were competitive for a long time. And that's something that we haven't had with the Bears ever. Yeah. I mean, you go to the Super Bowl in 85. And then when was the next time that the Bears go to even an NFC championship game after that?
2005.
2005.
2005. Wow. My cousin Vinny.
My cousin
Not
Vinny.
Joe Pesci.
Kind of looks like Joe Pesci a little
I
bit.
feel like you're tackling this with logic and
you don't like it?
And yeah, yes. You know exactly what I'm going to say. And I hate it.
Well, you have
I
to
wanna-
attack it with logic, though. You know what I mean? Like, you have to.
I want to be emotional enough that I have psychological problems from this game in 20 years. That's my Uncle Don.
You're already going to have emotional problems anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it's
probably.
just you, and it's just the way that things
I'm
have been going. But this Bears team they're good, man. They're good, and they're fun to watch. And when was the last time
There.
that even if they lose tonight, right? Like, next year is the year where you're going to be like, all right, we're going into this season with expectations. This year, we thought 8 to 9 wins. Where's the ceiling?
Yeah. I mean, I thought 8, 9. Actually, I said 7 and 10 at first, and then I gave him an extra win just to, I don't know, have you guys stop yelling at me. I
Because
remember when
7
they were
wasn't much of
0-2,
an improvement.
and I said, "Is this a playoff team?" And everybody laughed at me on the podcast, and there was a lot of bad comments towards me and my family. No,
That's every week.
that's every week, pretty
I
much.
mean, and it's usually Doubting Thomas, who coincidentally is your family,
Hey,
giving you the negative comments
Megan,
towards your family.
Megan TV says Combs Stanley Cup is blocking part of my beautiful visage, my beautiful face.
My Stanley Cup?
Yeah, isn't that the Stanley Cup? Could you move it, please? Thank you.
I was thinking hockey. We do a sports show, so I was thinking
Oh,
hockey.
and
I was like, I haven't gotten a Stanley Cup.
Doubting Thomas already has the odds for you fighting my cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny minus.
He's got minus 375. He's got a lot of faith in my cousin Vinny.
Look, I like underdogs. I like underdogs. It's just my thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can make a lot of money by betting underdogs. A lot more money than you can by betting on favorites. And I bite ankles, just so you know. I bite ankles. I don't fight fair.
You were both in the Marines, so it could be a good fight.
It probably would be a good fight. It probably would be a good fight.
This.
But I woke up this morning, and when I rolled the wrong way, my back hurt really bad. I had to put like an icy hot patch on my back. So he's probably going to win at this point. You know, I'm not in the same shape I was when I was in the Marine Corps.
Did you listen to Shaq? Is that why you bought the icy hot patch?
Round is a shape.
Round is a shape. Round is a shape. Didn't Shaq, wasn't Shaq hawking the ice?
Back to, I think the goal was to get Caleb back to, 4,000 yards. And I think that ended up being the goal. I think that ended up taking over a lot of their offensive game plan, because even though they'll say it wasn't a goal, and even though they'll say it wasn't a big deal and wasn't what they were trying to do, it kind of showed that it was what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I just think, especially off in that first game. Are you following me now? Are you listening to me? In that first game, they get the interception, and then all of a sudden, and Jeremiah says, "Have you guys been talking this whole time?" We have been talking this whole. We never stopped talking.
Yeah,
really.
we apologize if we're in and out right now. We're on the south side. We're in a garage. It's a south side tradition. You go to the south side, you hang out with your friends and family in a garage, and you watch the game.
There's a lot of different factories and toxins that are in the air on the south side. There's a lot of stuff that the Wi-Fi signal needs to cut through.
It's true.
Including, well, whatever. Anyway.
I was trying to figure out where you're going with it. Even Dave was looking, he's like, where's this going? where
you guys want to get into the conspiracy? You want to get into the conspiracy? How people city plan in this country? You want to go through the entire sitting planning of an entire country?
No, we don't have that much time.
Okay.
We don't have that much
anyway, they threw the ball 3 times after the interception. They have the ball on the 40. They're in Green Bay. There's an interception. They throw the ball 3 times, and they don't even get a field goal off it on Green Bay's 40. I think today they have to run the ball. Even against San Francisco, where they had a great offensive output, they ran the ball with their running back 17 times in San Francisco. I don't think they ran the ball enough against Detroit either. I think Detroit had a great scheme. They were in that zone scheme last weekend, and the Bears offense couldn't get anything off until later in the fourth quarter. I think they have to run the ball. I think this is a young team that acts exactly like a young team that thinks they have all the time in the world to come back or to play a good game. And I think they have a coach that plays like a young coach. I mean, Ben, I just heard this today. Ben Johnson, 38, the oldest coach in the NFC right now. Matt LaFleur, 46, which is just crazy to me because I am from the era where every coach was like pushing 70. You had Bill Parcells out there, going against Marv Levy. I mean, from the Buffalo Bills, like both very old coaches. But anyway, you have a very young coach too that coaches like a young coach. Especially when you got 3rd and 1 on the goal line and you're doing some trick play. And that
he won't do that again.
I don't think he will do that again, but I just think you have to be stubborn with it.
Yeah, I think he learns from his mistakes, and that's the one thing that you've learned about the Bears throughout this season. And that's why I think that the future, no matter what happens tonight, the future of this franchise is bright because this team. When was it? Tell me a time this year you remember them making the same mistake twice.
Yeah, it's been rare when they've done the same mistake twice. And maybe there's something happening with the run game that I'm not seeing that Ben Johnson sees.
Yeah.
Brad Reinhardt says run, dominate the fronts and get them tired. Yeah, I mean, if the Bears don't have the ball for 32 to 35 minutes, I mean, obviously if they have it more than 35 minutes, that's good. But let's be realistic here. If they don't have it in that area, if the Bears have the ball for 25 to 26 to 27 minutes, they're losing this game. I don't think you can have, this is not a defense you can have the Bears. It's not a defense where you could have a Bears defense on the field for 35 minutes and think you're going to win this game. Like they did in Lambeau. You're just not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, look, I think that with the wind, with the field conditions that you're going to have, because Soldier Field is going to be an absolute nightmare tonight. With the way that the wind has been all week, with the way that the rain and the snow have been today, you're supposed to get a heavier snow flurry at some point tonight, where that might even actually accumulate to a little bit. You're going to have to be able to pound the ball, just like Brad says. I like what the Bears game is going into this because you can run the ball against this Packers defense. Monungai and Swift have been a two-headed monster that we haven't really talked about that much this year. We haven't talked about how good, because we're so focused on Caleb and this offense and Rome and DJ and all of these weapons that we have.
And us not winning a Super Bowl in 41 years. Us, the Bears, not winning a Super Bowl in 41 years, not winning a road playoff game in 30 years. But
this team is designed for games like this. Like, this team can do that. You've got a quarterback whose arm can cut through the wind in Chicago. We've never had that before. You've never seen that before. Caleb be from me to you away and still throw full speed and tell you to catch the ball. Like, he's got to learn how to control that, but he does have a cannon for an arm.
He does.
And I think that this team is primed for that. And we haven't even talked about the fact that this defense is getting Kyler Gordon back tonight. You know, he's about the same height as Kyler Murray. But you're getting Kyler Gordon back, and that makes this defense a lot better. I know he's a 5'10" cornerback, but he makes a difference in this defense in the run game. Run efficiency on defense when Kyler Gordon is in the lineup, they are the number 2 ranked run efficiency defense in the league. When he's not in the lineup, they are 23rd. I mean, that's a huge
Are we
difference,
getting-
especially against this
What are we
Packers team
getting
with
back?
Jacobs.
Are we getting a 70% Kyler Gordon? Are we getting 100% Kyler Gordon? Was he better a couple of weeks ago and they didn't want to rush him back against the 49ers?
I think him and Rome both could have played if they hadn't already clinched the division. I think they both would have played last week. If they needed that spot to get into the playoffs, I think they both play. And I think they held them both out a week longer than they needed to, just for the extra rest. Let's have you at 100% instead of at 90, 95%. Let's get you to 100, and let's have you guys out there on the field when we need you. And they need them now. Like, they need these guys now. They are healthy. You don't look at the injury report of the Bears and look at it and be like, oh, man, we're missing this guy. Or, oh, man, we're missing that guy. This team is ready to go, man. And I don't think they skip a beat tonight. I've said it. Our show, BetMGM tonight, I put a thing out there. So Pat Boyle is one of the hosts, and he talks nothing but crap about the Bears all the time. And he does it to dig at me. So last night I got him to admit, because I picked the Bears to win the Super Bowl on our show. And he's like, there's no way. But I got him to admit that if the Bears do win the Super Bowl, he's going to get a tramp stamp that says good, better, best. So now I really want the Bears to win the Super Bowl.
What is this thing with Manning getting tattoos? What is this thing with Manning getting tattoos
The
over
best part
bats?
is he lives in New York City, so that's going to be really good for him.
Are the Bears going to win the Super Bowl?
Look, in the NFC,
Does anybody here think the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl? I got
your dad's in.
John and John.
Your dad's in. Super Bowl, Super Bears. See, look, here's why I picked them, and it's yes, 90% of it is to see happen. But when you look at this team and you look at the teams that are in the NFC playoffs, tell me a team that if they were to face them, you wouldn't pick them against. Would you not pick them against the Seattle Seahawks?
Joe Fitzgibbons. So my two brothers and my dad have the Bears in the Super Bowl.
There we go.
What am I supposed to do right now?
Yeah, I mean, you
Being
can just
torn
keep
apart.
disappointing them like you've been doing your whole life.
Yes, I have to keep disappointing them. I'm afraid of the same team I've been afraid of since the beginning of the season. That's the LA Rams. And LA gets everything, I guess. They get the Dodgers, they get the Rams.
Stafford just threw a pick. There you go. I mean, I don't even know what the
He does
score
throw
of it
picks.
in that game. It was 17 or 20-7.
There we go. The
The
Panthers.
Panthers beat this team back on November 30th in Carolina. There's no reason for me to believe they can't do it again. And we were talking earlier on the phone, and I told you it would be great if the Panthers were to knock off the Rams, and if the Niners beat the Eagles tomorrow and the Bears win tonight, all of a sudden the Bears have the Panthers in Chicago next week to go to the NFC Championship. They can beat the Panthers. They can beat the Rams.
Thank you, Uncle Don.
They can beat the Rams. Matthew Stafford, the way he's been turning over the ball the last month, he hasn't been great the last month of the season. That offense hasn't been great over the last. The Seahawks are going to be tough, but do you think that the Bears can't overcome Sam Darnold in January?
I'm not worried about Sam Darnold and his 14
I'm
interceptions
not.
with this defense.
Yeah.
I'm really not. That's
what I'm saying. I think the biggest game
Hey,
tonight.
we can look
if you win
ahead,
tonight,
cousin Vinny.
I think that the Bears win the Super Bowl if they win tonight. Tonight is the big game. Tonight's the game where you get over the hump.
I don't have to play one game at a time because I don't play football. I'm a fan. I can look ahead. I can scheme. I can do whatever the hell I want.
You can almost do a podcast.
I want to be entertained. God damn it.
So I hope the Panthers score. We're looking at the Bears as if they're the same team that they've been over the last 40 years. This is not that, man. This is not that. When was the last time that you've had this much excitement over a Bears team, over a Bears quarterback? I've got a freaking Caleb Williams Iceman chain. When have you ever had a quarterback on a chain for this Bears team? When have you ever been so happy about this team?
I will give you this. And he was pretty good in 2018. Mitch Trubisky was never loved like this or never thought of like this by other people.
Even when they went to the playoffs in 2018, you didn't feel confident enough about that offense. That was the one thing. That defense was good, but you didn't think they could score enough to win the Super Bowl. You thought the defense could carry them there because that's what the Bears have always been.
Yeah.
But this time it's different. Ben Johnson's just different. It's okay to believe, Bears fans.
Hey, I thought we were going to go to the Super Bowl until I just saw that chain. Now I'm not sure.
The fans here do not like your chain.
I have no idea you had.
Do not like your chain.
Yeah. Says the guy with a suicide bomber beard. You're going to talk to me
Raymond
about
says
a
he
chain.
thinks it's Bears year.
There you go.
Combs has a lot of chains for some reason.
There's a lot of chains.
Joe Fitzgibbon's Bears patch rematch.
Oh, I don't know. See, that's another team that I don't know if they can get there, man. Look, do you know that the Patriots played the 10th easiest schedule in the NFL since the merger?
But they did win.
Yeah.
They did.
They
You do
did.
beat who's in front of you. I get that, but they're about to see a different level of teams than they've seen all year, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, no, it could be a problem.
Especially if the Texans defense is going to murder people. I think the Texans win big on Monday. I really do. That defense, the way they rush the passer and the way that the Steelers can't protect Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
that's
the
a recipe
Steelers
for
win a
disaster.
game in this. I thought the Steelers should have lost the Ravens game for sure. A missed field goal. They're a missed field goal away. A missed 42-yard field goal away from.
But you start worrying about with the Texans, you worry about their offense. Can
Yeah.
they score points? That's been the problem with them all year. But with the Patriots, I just don't know. State Buckeyes all year. And what did I tell you heading in that college football playoff? They haven't played anybody. I don't know how good they are. And then they get into the playoff and they get waxed. You know what I mean? So like I don't know who they are. That's why I have to see it. I have to see what the Patriots. I'm going to be watching that game really closely tomorrow because I want to see how Drake May performs against a real defense. Now it's the Chargers, so you still have to give them credit for if they win this game. You have to be like, all right, they're for real now. But I can't say that about the Patriots yet. That's why I have the Texans in the Super Bowl against the Bears. I just think that Texas defense is too good, and I don't think there's an offense in the AFC that can overtake that.
Once again, I'm going to have to go with who I think is in a big game, the best quarterback in the AFC.
Here we
And
go.
I think that's Josh Allen. And I think that's the Buffalo Bills. I think it's their year. There's no Joe Burrow. There's no Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs this year. I think it's their year. It's their year to lose. They got a lot of contracts coming off the books next year. It's going to be a different Buffalo Bills team. Like I think
They're losing
this
to
is
Trevor
their year.
Lawrence tomorrow.
They are not losing
They're
to
losing
Trevor
to Trevor
Lawrence
Lawrence
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
They are not losing
They
to
need
Trevor
James.
Lawrence
That
tomorrow.
offense needs James Cook to be on point in order for them to win. They need James Cook to rush for 100 yards in order for that team to win. The Jaguars quietly have the 5th best defense against the run in the league. That defense is really good.
I just
and no
think-
team is playing better offense right now in the AFC than the Jacksonville
I just think it's
Jaguars.
going to be a close game, and in a close game, I will take Josh Allen. I will just if he's got the ball in his hand at the end of a game, like obviously you'll say that about a lot of
I agree.
quarterbacks, but by him, he could take it. It might not matter. All those rankings might not matter, especially in the playoffs with a really good quarterback. I'm not going to set myself up to be heartbroken.
You married Doubting
don't-
Thomas. I mean, nothing? Touchdown
Panthers.
What
Doubting
did I
Thomas
tell you?
Combs Panthers took the lead. Here we
What
go.
did I tell you
Oh my
about the
God.
Panthers?
How is that midget doing it at quarterback?
I-
How in the hell is he
he's-
doing? He's shorter
He's
than
not
me, I
great.
think.
He's not great, but he's been playing really good football over the last month and a half. Since that Rams game, the last time they played him, he threw for 3 touchdowns in that game.
One of the
Threw for over 200 yards. I mean,
one of
they
the
played really
broadcasters
well.
said he had one of his best halves of his career. In the first half, he threw a pick. I'm like, I don't know if he throws a pick
Well,
in every half of
the pick bounced off of his receiver.
it's still a pick. If he has a pick in every half to the end of his
Right.
career, he'll be out of the league in 2 years.
So you're that guy
He'll be
who
doing the
blames
podcast
quarterback.
with us in 2
You're
years.
that guy who blames the quarterback when a ball bounces off a receiver's hands and goes into the defense. That's his fault that ball was intercepted.
It
You
does-
hit your receiver in the chest
wait,
and the ball
wait.
gets picked.
Let's go to the professionals. Does it go on their stats?
Yes, it goes on.
Okay, then.
Lots of things. That's
Are
why I
we-
look at it.
Are we lowering batters' batting averages because they hit a dying
No, they're doing
quail
that
or a ground
themselves
ball
because
with
they
eyes?
they have the whatever what's the new swing angle, launch angles.
Are we taking away Ted Williams 400 because he had a couple of ground balls with eyes, a couple of bunt hits? No.
People
That's
are agreeing
not my
with me in the
receiver
chat.
in my view.
See,
How much money are you paying to Raymond?
I'm not paying Raymond any money. He's just watching and commenting and agreeing with somebody who's giving some smart analysis.
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to say the word midget either.
Probably not. Little person is really where you're
Little
supposed to go with it.
person.
I was going to let it go, but then you brought it back, and so now we're here.
I'm that old guy now.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Pretty much that old guy.
So let's talk about the rest of the playoffs. We've talked about the Bears. Let's talk about the rest of the playoffs. I had the Panthers over the Rams. You had the Rams over the Panthers, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The game isn't over.
Game. We'll skip tonight's game. We'll pick. I think we're both going to pick the Bears tonight, right? Like we're both on the Bears tonight.
We're both on the Bears tonight. Even Julianne's on the Bears.
Jules is on the Bears. Jules, you picked the Bears to win tonight?
No, she didn't.
Oh,
I'm lying to you.
That's
I normally
not
do.
a shock.
I'm a liar.
And then, so tomorrow we've got the Bills. We already know where you're going. I'm going with the Jaguars in that game. I just think that the Jaguars are playing the best.
Wait, the who?
The Jaguars?
God.
Sorry, we're on the south side of Chicago. The Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars.
Oh, really? You're going with the Jaguars? Not like the rest of the season.
Oh my God! Who the hell
They're playing the best football right now.
And someone went with the Jaguars all year, but all of a sudden, they're in the playoffs.
Because they're playing the Bills. Next week might be a different story. When they play the Texans, I'll pick the Texans. Niners, Eagles. Which way are you leaning with that one?
Niners, Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. I don't know about the Niners, especially that last game against Seattle didn't give me a lot of confidence in them. They're very up and down. Brock Purdy just has a ball that's just prone to interceptions. The way he throws that looping line drive that he has when he throws, it's not even really a
Kind of
line
reminds
drive.
you of Jordan Love, don't it?
Yeah, just little bit. It does.
A little bit.
Little bit. It does. And I just think the Eagles are playing their best ball of the season, probably, other than maybe very early in the season when they were playing.
Yeah, look, the Eagles defense is better than the Niners defense right now because of all of the injuries, but I don't know that they can score enough points to keep up with the 49ers. And if that 49ers offense comes in and can put up 28 points, they're going to win this football game because the Eagles don't score 28 points. So for me, I'm going with the Niners. I think the Niners are going to go into Philly. I think they're going to win this game. I just think that it's just going to be – I think that's going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend, even though the highest total is in Bills and Jaguars at 51.5. I think that under hits. But I think that the Eagles go in, and I think that their offensive struggles show face again. And I don't think that they can beat the Niners. I think CMC has a big day tomorrow. So I'm taking the Niners in that one.
Shocker. You're
Chargers,
taking the opposite team I'm
Patriots.
taking.
Chargers, Patriots, Sunday Night Football. I don't know why this is the Sunday night game instead of Bears and Packers, but it is. Chargers, Patriots, Drake May. A lot of people think he's going to be the league MVP. I don't know about it, but he's in Vegas. He's the lead.
I don't see why that is. He has what does he have?
He's like minus 300.
12 less TDs and just as many interceptions as Matthew Stafford. I don't get that.
I'm with you. I'm not there either,
It's
but I
the
think
sell
you look
jerseys.
at the fact that the Patriots won the division. There's a lot more there. You know what I mean? So you get the Rams did not win the division. So you could look at that. But Patriots, Chargers, look, I think this is an upset waiting to happen. I think that, and this is probably out of all my picks, this is the one I'm the least confident in. If we're doing a confidence scale, this would be my lowest one because I don't trust the Chargers in the playoffs. But I also
trust-
don't know
yeah.
who the Patriots
I don't
are.
trust
so I'm taking
Justin
the
Herbert
Chargers.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just think losing those 2 tackles for the Chargers was bigger than anybody else is saying. I think it's a really good coaching that they were just able to get into the playoffs, the Chargers.
And you have a one-handed quarterback.
The one hand, Justin Herbert, hurt his left hand. I mean, those 2 things, I just think it's enough for the Patriots and their defense to dominate just enough. I think Drake May has a couple of hiccups. I still don't have supreme confidence in him, but I think that's enough for the Patriots to get through the wild card round.
All right. And then, so we're on the opposite on every game so far.
I love it.
Except for the Bears. And
I love it. I love disagreeing with you.
Texans, Steelers, Monday night. Look, Tomlin's never lost in Pittsburgh on Monday night. Never lost a home game in Pittsburgh on a Monday night football game. But
I can't believe that.
But I think that the Texans are going to give him his first. And then I think Tomlin is actually, I think they mutually part ways in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think at this point, the quarterbacks are pretty well matched up. I guess if Aaron Rodgers was younger, I might think differently. But I think him and CJ Stroud are pretty much a push. And with the better defense, I do agree with you on Texans defense. I definitely have the Texans here. I haven't thought much of the Steelers all season, really.
Yeah.
I really thought the Ravens should have won that game the other night, and they almost did. They probably should have with a 42-yard field goal, like I said.
Yeah, in a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't have a line that can protect him against a defense that's just, I mean, they look to take your head off. So I just think the Texans defense is going to be too much. You ready?
Ready for Fitz gibberish? Yes, it's Fitz gibberish. It's a diatribe, conspiracy theory, and it's an island in the middle of unapologetic and sometimes inaccurate sports talk. I don't think we said anything inaccurate today, did we? Just my picks were inaccurate. Thank you, Combs. You son of a bitch. I was thinking about the first Bears playoff game in show history while I watched the Ravens and Steelers game last Sunday night.
I don't know if you noticed this, but it's just like with our viewers online. Once you start doing Fitz gibberish, everybody stop listening and start talking.
Exactly. It's good. I'm glad they're talking. John,
I'll take my shirt off, dude. I'll get you more views.
all right, let's go.
Do this. There we go.
I will say this. People ask me if Mark was drunk when he took his shirt off. And I was like, no, he wasn't drunk. That's just Mark. Anyway, was watching the Ravens Steelers game that we were just talking about the other day. And I was thinking about John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh got the job with the Ravens after coaching special teams for the Eagles. You heard that right, special teams. It was very rare for a coach to go from riding the short bus to driving the long bus. But it happened. And in 18 seasons, he was 180 and 113 and made it to the playoffs 12 times with a Super Bowl victory. And it seemed like his run would yard field. We're losing where it's at.
Hold it. The kick is no good. It is wide right. And the Steelers are the champions of the North.
We like to build monuments to our most treasured victories and people. Hand out trophies to the teams that are victorious and forget are balanced on a razor's edge, Combsy. Mostly, the world spins on the tiniest flip of a coin, and sometimes the difference that changes the destinies of men is so thin we can't barely see them. A catch on the helmet, a ball tipped in the air, landing in a running back's hands, a Music City miracle are all in football lore now. Heads roll, kingdoms are erected, and fall on the edge of a coin, ever twirling. Heck, a team can up and move to another state on the flip of a coin, can't it? Gary Bears. Anyway, and on the edge of said coin, hopes are dashed, dreams become reality, and heroes are made. Say what you want about America. Sure, we're lazy. Our attention is reaching insect proportions, and we mostly hate each other. I do hate you. But let me make one thing abundantly clear. We are in the hero business in this country, baby. Names like Dan Hampton, Mike Singletary, Richard Dent, William Perry, Jim McMahon, and yes, sweetness, Walter Payton might as well be the same as Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, or Clark Kent. So what advice can a man such as I on a fake broadcast such as this give the Bears? Well, as a wise man once said, go big or go home. Bears, make daddy some heroes tonight. And don't let this game come down to a coin flip. Because if you lose to the Packers, you'll be going home early. And every man knows what happens when you go home early.
Hello. Yeah. I'm here for the gangbang.
And if that isn't motivation, I don't know what is. And that's Fitzgibberish, my friends. Go Bears! And I didn't show one black penis. I mean, what?
My God. First of all, did you refer to yourself as daddy at some point?
I did.
Okay.
Bring daddy home some heroes. Don't you clap, Julianne. Don't you dare clap.
Son of a bitch.
Everything was going so well. Everything was going so well.
Son of a bitch.
Stop, Julianne. Stop. It's back. We're back. We're back.
Even he heard you say daddy and was all fucked up.
He did this after he threw the touchdown pass to beat the Packers.
He did do that. That was the exact pose. That's actually from that game. Yeah. Unreal. Unreal. And we got a Jaguars fan in the chat. Duval.
Wow.
Or as Liam Cohen likes to say, Duval. Look, I think
Mike Singletary was overrated.
Let's finish off with the Bears and Packers. It's I don't know if you saw Downing Thomas's comment earlier either.
There's some little person minus 130, Combs 110, plus 110. So he has you losing to a little person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe. Look, I think
you're gonna have to get the icy hot patches for the lower parts of your body for that, though.
Probably. Look, Bears Packers tonight, I think is going to come down. We talked about it's going to come down to the run. It's going to come down to whether or not Jordan Love can protect the ball or not. Whether Jordan Love can protect himself or not. I mean, I'm still of the belief, and I'm sorry, Jules, but he caused that concussion. That was on him. That you cannot have a defensive player coming in full speed, going in for a tackle, and if you stand up and you take the sack, you're getting hit in the chest. But when you duck into the helmet, you're getting hit into the head. Oh my!
And he hits the camera. There we go. Oh God! Wi-Fi.
Great podcast.
You're very warm.
No.
You're like a locomotive steam engine or something like that.
Why don't you go?
Did you
Why
swallow
don't
some
you
coal
go
inside of you before this? What the hell?
You're blushing, Brandon. You're blushing, Brandon.
Everybody. Bam Bam Bigelow
What is
has
going on right now?
and Hacksaw Jim Duggan have joined the show. There we go.
I look fat on camera.
Hey,
I can't with
Hey.
these two, man.
Mark, I don't care what
Mark,
everyone says.
it's-
You have lovely tits.
Mark, it's not it's not the camera adding 10 pounds. Yeah, it's not the camera. Oh my God.
Talk
What
about
the
two
hell?
guys that need a couple icy hot patches.
Yeah, and some deodorant would be good too. That might help.
Doubting Thomas, here we go.
Yeah. On OnlyFans. That's what happens when you have your brothers in the crowd. Look, you broke it again.
We're just trying to get you more ratings, dude.
Take the damn chain off.
All right.
Let's go.
We've got. Look, I still think that if the Bears, these guys, if the Bears defensively can turn the ball over, look, if they turn the ball over 2 times, they're 9-0 this year. So that's the number. But if they can, if Jordan, they can force Jordan Love into uncomfortable situations, which he's prone to throw off of his back foot and make terrible decisions downfield. That's what the Bears need, and that's what they were doing in that game. Like they were taking the deep ball away, which is Jordan Love's go-to.
In the first game, they used a lot of man coverage, and that's why they had a lot of blown coverages. They did the same thing in the Detroit game, and look what happened in the Detroit game. Yeah, Detroit didn't score a lot of points, but they could have. I mean, there was a lot of gaps in that in the backside of their defense. Really, if the Bears are able to play a zone and just keep everything in front of them and just wait for maybe the Packers to make a mistake. And I know the Packers did not turn the ball, unless we're talking about very recently, the Packers did not turn the ball over a lot this season, but that's how you do cause, maybe Josh Jacobs, maybe an interception, like you said, from Jordan Love, who can, when things aren't going right, he can throw picks. He hasn't done that a lot this season. He has been out though.
But don't break.
Yeah.
But don't break. I mean that, and that's going to be the thing for the Bears today. And look,
Joseph Fitzgibbons asks, "Are they wearing pants?"
They are now. They
Really,
weren't when they walked up here.
Didn't really matter. I think Mark had something in his pocket or something. It kept poking.
He didn't have any. He doesn't have any pockets.
They were channel locks. Okay.
It was one of those mini wrenches.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think there's just some problems. And Jeremiah talks about it in the secondary with Jalen Johnson not being able to run. I mean, he was just not able to catch up to a lot of those Detroit receivers. And I have a worry there.
Yeah.
That's why I want Stevenson back, maybe playing it. Maybe he
should be playing. And especially with Jalen Johnson not being healthy, with Gardner Johnson being out tonight. I mean, I know you get Kyler Gordon back, so that's going to make a big difference as well. But you just keep, like you said, you keep everything in front of you. You've got to have that bend but don't break mentality. Trade 7 for 3 all night, and you can do that. Mark Dowling minus 30.
Mark Dowling minus 36.
2150.
That does not bode well for you.
We might have to settle this at one of those good old-fashioned fight nights. Have to do one of those.
Yeah, I've actually
have a family fight.
I've actually seen Mark in all his boxing gear.
Yeah.
Before he was on one of the tapes, I think.
I think it's just going to come on. It's going to come down if it's me versus Mark. It's going to come down to whoever runs out of breath first, because it's probably going to be 2 or 3 punches for me, and then I'm done.
2 or 3.
Yeah, by the time I throw 2 or 3 punches, I'm gonna be out of breath.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to throw.
Or dead.
I'm just gonna be lying on the campus. Mark's not even gonna hit me. He's just gonna let me throw punches until I fall down.
I can't wait to see it. Really.
You're not even gonna have my back.
I don't know.
Some podcast partner you are.
I want to do. I've known Mark longer. Sorry. I want to see how this thing plays out. I'll be there to pitch up. I'll bring the icy hot patches. And Shaq.
What would your message to Bears fans be tonight?
I have a similar message to you. Have fun with the game as best you can. Don't pace around like you were doing in the San Francisco game when we did the simulcast and you couldn't just sit down and watch the game because you're a child.
That's how I am with every game.
Have a good time.
Well, you would hate to see me in July in a Cubs game.
Keep your shirt on a little bit. I think I think the Bears are going to win tonight. I have a lot of confidence in the Bears tonight. I think that we're going to see a different game plan than we did the first 2 games. I really do. I don't like this whole 7 seed thing. Like the Packers wouldn't have even been in the playoffs for the last 4 years. It's yeah, I
Yeah.
think he might have. He might have
Yeah.
had a vanilla offense, and who knows what they were doing on defense. I don't know if they were holding back on defense.
Well,
That defense really hasn't showed
they
up a
also
lot.
weren't playing anybody. You know what I mean? Jalen Johnson's playing on one foot. Yeah, Gardner Johnson go down. Yeah, I think they were just trying to survive the game. To be honest with you, I'm not going to say Ben Johnson wasn't trying to show anything. I think he wanted to win that game against Detroit because it's Detroit, and Ben Johnson just likes to win every game.
Yeah,
but I think that it just didn't mean much, right? And the Eagles did the Bears a favor too by not playing their starters,
which was weird.
Insane.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to have it, because then in the first round you're almost guaranteed a home game again too. You are guaranteed a home game again.
Yeah, it's
with the second seed.
It's unfamiliar territory for Bears fans, but regardless of what happens tonight, just have fun with it and enjoy the ride, because that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a fun ride throughout these playoffs, and let the expectations start next year. Let the expectations start with you're going to be playing a first place schedule. Where are they going to be? What do you need to do? That's what it's got to be.
Ben Catalano asks, "What's the bet tonight, Combs?" And maybe this is where we should end the show. What bet do you have, Jeremiah? Maybe what bet do you have, Downing Thomas? What are you betting for sure, other than the make-believe fights that you're handicapping this entire show? You sick son of a bitch.
I've got to
have
play.
to pull it up. Did you forget your bets?
Yeah, I mean, I got to see what
You're like a
play
child.
is. I mean, I don't want to get it wrong.
Who do you got? What do you got on the Packers, Ben? What do you got on the Packers tonight?
I think he wants to do a bet between me and him.
Oh, right.
But I've got Bears money line, Jacobs to score touchdown, Monungai to score touchdown, and Caleb Williams for 2+ touchdown passes. 16-1.
That ain't bad.
Play for tonight.
That ain't bad. I could see that. I think the Packers are going to try to run the ball a lot. When the Packers offense was at its best, and I'll even with under LaFleur, and I'll go back to Aaron Rodgers, that's when they had a top 5. When they had Aaron Jones, they had the top 5 rushing offense back then. Yeah. And Rodgers was doing a lot of play action and a lot of things like that under the LaFleur offense. They thought they were going to get that back with Josh Jacobs. It just hasn't materialized yet. I'm not saying Josh Jacobs hasn't had some good games. It just hasn't been a consistent run game for the Packers this season or the last few seasons.
Yeah.
So I think they are going to run the ball a lot.
Bill Stewart says Colston Loveland anytime touchdown.
Bill Stewart, how you doing, sir? Come on down. Slide on down to my brother's garage and watch the game with us.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland anytime TV. And TD and Jeremiah said earlier, Colston Loveland quietly led the Bears in yards as a receiver this season, and we were poo-pooing him, which I still think he might not be very smart.
Yeah.
We were poo-pooing him earlier in the year because Warren with the Colts was lighting things up, and he ends up having better numbers than Warren ever did this season.
Yeah.
So it's weird the way this season has been up and down for teams, up and down for players. Packers need to stop the run and win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
And finish the game. Last time in Soldier Field, we didn't finish and the Bears got it. Yeah, no, I agree. And stopping the run, I think, should be number one. Like I said, I think the number one unit, maybe we can have the argument, maybe not the best unit, but the unit that I think has the biggest advantage is the Bears offensive line. I'll say it again. Over the other unit, I think the wide receiver units are pretty close together. Ben, you can argue with me. I think the quarterbacks are pretty close together. I think the defenses aren't that far apart. I just think the Bears offensive line can really dominate this Green Bay Packers defensive line that is as their 2 best defensive linemen out. Also, the Packers center, the Packers starting center is out. I'd like to see some blitzes up the middle. See if we can get to Jordan Love that way. Because I think when you get to Jordan Love from the edges and you try to blitz him from the edges, if you have people chop blocking there, Jordan Love really does really well against the blitz, especially if you can block it for a few seconds for him.
Austin Booker and Montez Sweat are the X factors tonight for the Bears defense. They've got to put pressure on Jordan Love. They've got to force him into mistakes. They've got to be able to do that. I think having Kyler Gordon back is going to neutralize the run. I think the Bears are going to have a good game. I really do. I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight as Bears fans.
Are you excited?
I'm Dude, I'm pumped. I'm always excited.
How does your penis feel?
Hard.
Oh, what? Where we differ is that nobody is dominating anyone. Pure battles everywhere. It'll be pure cinema. I agree with that. Ben Catalano, I thought that first game was one of the best played games against these two teams I've ever seen. And I'm getting up there in years, buddy, and I know you are too. I thought that was one of the better played games I've seen against two teams. Very hard hitting. That first game was just terrific. I know the other game was kind of sloppy. I know it ended great for Bears fans or really fans of it anyway, but I think this is going to be pure cinema. I think it's going to be a great game.
I agree. All right, you ready to get out of here?
I'm ready to get out of here.
All right. Go Bears. Meet the Packers.
Go Bears.
Till next time, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. See you next time.